on executive order.
Keep protesting because keep making your point. It's critically important. We can do a lot of things to accommodate the rights of women in the meantime, but fundamentally, the only thing that's going to change this is if we have a national law.
USA Radio News.
If you're concerned about the power grid and want to generate your own supply of off-grid electricity, this will be the most important message you'll hear this year. Here's why. We now have a small number of solar generators back in stock. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving backup power when you need it most. And unlike gas generators, solar generators run quietly, emit no dangerous fumes, and produce an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. Whether it's wildfires, dangerous weather, power grid issues, or just getting off the grid, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. Even better, all this week, radio listeners get over $700 in free off-the-grid bonuses too. Go to mysolarbackup.com to learn more and check availability. That's mysolarbackup.com. Look for the free report, Crisis Cooling, how to make absolutely sure your meat, milk, and medicines stay safe and cool in any power outage. Yours free at mysolarbackup.com.
Everyone's favorite time of year is here. Yep, it's Christmas in July at Blockers Furniture in Ocala. Old St. Nick just stopped by Blockers for its mid-year drop-off of savings, including sectionals starting as low as $19 per month. Save up to $700 on select queen bed with dresser and mirror sets. Mattresses starting at just $3.99 and more. Plus a free Christmas tree with purchase of $6.99 or more while supplies last. It's Christmas in July at Blockers Furniture, 2402 Southwest College Road, Ocala. BlockersFurniture.com. See Blockers for complete offer details.
Some would say that this country is in the toilet. Some would even go so far as to say the economy is going down the drain. But we say, if water runs through it, we do it.
At Mike Scott Plumbing, we don't make promises we can't keep. We'll be there on time, every time. We promise to work around your schedule and not ours. And we won't charge you overtime for nights, weekends, or holidays. So remember, if water runs through it, we do it. Mike Scott Plumbing, 237-2888.
Hi, I'm Sean Scott, owner of Mike Scott Plumbing, and I approve this message.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmett Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 352-400-4550. That's 352-400-4550. 352-400-4550.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Monday. Friday at a public forum, there was quite contentious debate between people who support the stance that Governor DeSantis is taking and people who don't support the stance Governor DeSantis is taking. And the stance I'm talking about is the governor's stance on treatment for Medicaid people that are transgender. And what he was talking about is primarily Medicaid is for families, low-income families, and their children. Medicare is for retirement age adults. Medicaid's for anybody under retirement age that shows a need for the inability, because they have the inability to even afford the Affordable Care Act health insurance. So Medicaid is the government-sponsored insurance, and each state deals with Medicaid in its own way. Well, the governor has decided, and his stance is that there should not be any drugs available or therapies available or health care available for anybody under the adult age that feels like they want to transfer their gender from one gender to the other. Because there are medications and there's hormones and all that will help people who think that they're a woman trapped in a man's body and vice versa become the other person they feel like they are. And so the governor said, no, we're not going to offer that medication or that health care to people under the age of adults who want to become transgender.
So you're talking about under the age of 18?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Even if their parents say my child is expressed, because it is a mental disorder. They now list it in the book and everything. It's not a mental disorder. It's like you're crazy, but it's called significant distress, clinically significant distress. It's called gender dysphoria. And it's significant distress that a person may feel when sex or gender assigned at birth is not as the same as what they feel like they are. It used to be called gender identity disorder. So it is something that the American Medical Association has realized is a real situation. And so, but the governor says, nope, we're not giving money towards that. If you're on Medicaid, you can't use that. Kind of like, you can't. There's certain things your insurance company won't let you use insurance for, even though it's a respected procedure. But they say no, you can't use insurance for it.
Kind of like when I sterilized myself.
Right, and your
and I had to pay for it, and even though having a baby is more expensive.
Right. Your insurance company wouldn't pay for it, even though paying for a child is much more expensive. To have a baby is much more expensive.
Right.
But a lot of people got up in arms with the governor over this. And because they said not that he's promoting, there were some people that said, he's homophobic and he doesn't want to, but there were actually, and this is the people I have a tendency to agree with, okay, are the parents that said, you're Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida. Don't tell me what's best for my child. And don't deny me access for something if I, as a parent, have decided that I want to see this through with my child because I think this is in the best interest of my child. Take gender out of it. What parent doesn't want? Most parents want what's best for their child. And why is it the government's part to tell me what I can or can't do for my child?
Well, I mean, I think...
And is gender equity only for the rich now?
No.
Is gender change only for the rich now?
Wait a minute. Why? Here's the thing, though. Why should I have to pay for it? There's the thing. Why should I, a working person, have to pay for somebody else's child's? First of all, should they even be doing it under the age of 18? That's one question. But why should I have to pay for it? Like, I should also not have to pay for, Viagra if it's on Medicaid approved list.
But you do.
But I shouldn't. That's
drug rehab you pay for.
That's a luxury item. That if you cannot afford your own, if the United States citizens in their taxes are paying for your medical care, there should be some sort of stipulations on,
let me ask you this.
we will pay for your your heart attack. We'll pay for your cardiac arrest.
So you're telling me we shouldn't pay for mental health because mental health isn't as important as heart health or lung health or anything like that? Mental health's a luxury?
No. You should. I think that what I'm saying is that I should not have to pay for your transfer to another sex. So like all of your surgeries that you need and all of that.
But what if mental health wise, that makes me a better person, and my mental health issues are not cured probably, but are turned in the right direction by doing this.
So what if my mental health is I feel like I'm overweight, I'm going to feel so much better to get liposuction, so the government's Medicaid should pay for it because that's my mental health.
Wait, are you saying there's a slippery slope?
I am saying that if that gets approved for the surgery, now some of the, like if you're going to talk about like the medications for the hormones and all that, I'm actually not opposed to that. I really am not. But when you actually talk about having to fund the surgeries around
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
I have, then you better fund my surgery if I want a breast reduction someday. That's all I'm saying.
Let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy. Okay, let's not get crazy.
I'm just.
But I understand what the parents are saying when they say, "Who are you as a politician to tell me what I can or can't allow my child and their mental health to overcome?" Because, and here's the only reason I bring this up: I vividly remember the 1970s and the early 1980s when this same discussion was being had everywhere. But it wasn't about transgender. It's about gay people. How my money ain't paying those weirdos, those whack jobs. If they're mentally ill enough to sleep with the same sex, the hell with them. I ain't paying their insurance. Mm-hmm. And it was if people heard that now, they think how draconian that is. That was in the late 70s, early 80s when the AIDS epidemic hit. There were people that legitimately thought, don't give the gay community any money to help research AIDS. That's their own fault for being gay. That's their penance. There were people that said that on television.
I'm sure there's people that say that today.
I'm sure there is. But, I mean, it was it was really a thought process that was the majority, not the minority. And I'm not saying make a decision about transgender, whether you're for it, whether you're against it. But where does I'm a guy of small government. Mm-hmm. Where does the government get off telling me, coming in and telling me as a parent or something, I want less government. I don't want more government.
Isn't that what they do in school, though?
100%.
I'm like, what? Like,
no, 100%. I don't think it should be done in school either.
Now I happen to have firsthand knowledge of trans in a youth. Because my sister's now niece was born male and always felt when she was growing up, something was different about her. And
so it was a mental health thing.
And she was very fortunate to be in a family that accepted that. But however, they didn't allow her to do anything medically until after she was 18. First of all, they couldn't find a doctor to do it anyways. A lot of the doctors said they wouldn't know until you were.
We're not talking about the sex change operation. We're talking about these are people that are being denied hormones and stuff like that. Well, you keep bringing up surgery. We're not talking about surgery.
She didn't have surgery. She had the hormones, but she had a problem finding a doctor that would give them one under the age of 18. And her parents actually made sure that this was the right thing and took her to psychiatrists and just to make sure there wasn't anything else that was there. And turns out that she is happier as a woman. And she's, I think, 22 now, 24. Older than Nolan, but not, a couple, maybe 2 years older than Nolan.
It's your sister's.
So it was my sister's sister-in-law, so her husband's sister.
Right. So.
And it is. It's like, so you can say that government shouldn't be telling you what to do, but why can't they tell you what to spend their money on? My money. Like, I don't think we should pay for abortions. I don't. I think if you choose to have an abortion, then then either an insurance has to pay for it, or you need to foot the bill on your own, just like I had to foot the bill on my own.
I think if a family makes a concerted decision about something that is a mental health issue, the government has no place in denying them access to money to pay for it. Because they wouldn't block me with my mental health issue if I was on government assistance. What's different from my mental issues than somebody being trapped in their mind? They're trapped in a situation they shouldn't be in. It's a mental. You said psychiatrists were called in to legitimize or to debunk the whether there was really whether it was something that was just a desire or whether it was really a health related thing. All this is being denied by this program. Now, I'm not saying that, it's free reign for everybody to have, sex change operation and everything. I just think, don't you think a parent knows more than a legislator knows about what's best for their child? That's all I'm saying. It's just, I think.
Well,
but I'm also the guy that believes.
There's also parents that just put their kid in a corner with an iPad.
But I'm also the guy that believes that I'm about to aggravate a bunch of Republicans right here, and I don't care. I'm also the guy that believes we've allowed the religious right to hijack our party.
Well, that's true, and that's not what the party was about.
No.
I don't think
Goldwater was about small government.
I don't think religion should be a factor in it at all.
We're not. The Republicans weren't supposed to be the morality police.
I mean, you don't see people out trying to outlaw pork because their religion doesn't allow them to eat it.
No.
So
that's where I have a problem is.
Big business, small government.
100%.
There's nothing about religion should be in there.
Big business, small government. Religion should be handled by, oh, wait for it, pastors, priests, rabbis, not governments.
Not governments.
Not at all, and like right now, we have a candidate right now running for commissioner, county commissioner. That's the conservative Christian. Okay, that's great. You're a conservative and you're Christian. That's great. What are you going to do to solve the problems of the county? Okay? Because if you tell me you're going to pray about it, that probably is not going to get my vote.
Well,
no. Just saying. You got to have more substance than just I'm a conservative Christian.
Well, you also have to know
the difference between a 1 mil sales tax, the 1 mil tax, and a 1 cent sales tax.
Well, it's not only that. I mean, there's a lot of the answers that the questions weren't answered. It's like, was there an answer in there?
No, there was not. No, there was not. Another commissioner at one time, he was running for re-election, and I won't say the commissioner's name, but he was running against Daniel Owen in 2016. I won't say David Moore's name out loud, but I'll just tell you what the race was. And he famously said at a meeting out on the 200 corridor that he was a conservative Christian. He was Christian values led all his decision making. His walk with the Lord, he went on for like 10 minutes. Well, the other candidate stood up and goes, well, folks, if we were running for county chaplain, I'd vote for him. But we're running for county commission.
That's right.
Well, he was 100% correct. I'm glad that there are conservative Christians that are running for office. I'm also glad that there's non-conservative Christians running for office. I'm glad people are running for office. I don't care about your religious affiliation.
And please, somebody give me the definition of a conservative Christian, because it seems to be used a lot, and there seems to be some different boundaries drawn around that statement.
I'm Christian, and I'm conservative. But I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a Christian conservative.
I don't think you're conservative. I think you're moderate.
No, I'm not moderate. I'm fiscally conservative.
You're fiscally conservative.
Yeah, and that's all I care about.
Yeah.
That's all I worry about. Somebody goes, well, you're socially liberal. I go, no, I'm not. I'm fiscally conservative. That's all I worry about the government being. Social programs should be handled by nonprofits, in my opinion. Less government, less spending. That's where I'm at. Tom, what about the morality? I could care less. That I know what my morals are. You worry about your morals. At the end of the day, I'm not judging you. You don't judge me, because my belief says at the end of the day, I'm going to be judged at the pearly gates. That's the only judge.
and guess what? He's not going to ask you about the dude down the street.
No.
He's going to ask you about what you did.
Not a bit.
He's not going to say, hey, why were you not for or against this person down the street? Why didn't you help so-and-so become whatever? I'm not even going to say it.
I don't believe.
Yes, that's not what it is.
I believe in small government.
You have 10 commandments.
I'm not worried about the religious right or anything. I'm worried about one thing. Why are we sending millions and millions and billions and almost trillions of dollars places when we have suffering here? Why are we funding different governments all over the world when we can barely fund our own damn government?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we sending oil and gas to China when we have a shortage here? Okay, why is inflation at a huge rate because of government spending? Why are these programs, social programs, so expensive, government overreach and government pork?
Yep.
That's what I'm concerned about. Okay, I don't try to tell you that what I believe or what I think on a Sunday or Saturday, whenever it is you choose to worship. You choose to worship your way, I choose to worship mine. We don't need to have a discussion about that. We do need to have a discussion about the inflation rate's almost at 10%. We do need to have a discussion that the prime interest rate, the interest rate for buying a mortgage has almost doubled in the last year. We do need to talk about that people are starting to be happy that gas is only $4.10 a gallon. It shouldn't be anywhere near that. It should be in the $2 range at the most.
We usually have a really good, solid economy when we're somewhere about $2.50.
That's what I want. I want a solid economy, less government spending, less waste. Everything else, transgender, gun rights, religious right, all that. That's not my party. My party is the Republican Party of fiscal responsibility. I think some of the people in my party have forgotten that. There ain't never been any fiscal responsibility in the Democratic Party. You can forget that. Okay? There ain't been none. But sometimes we lose sight of what is the reason, the Republican Party of the modern day. Yes, I know, Tom, the Republican Party was very progressive with Abraham. I understand that, okay? Don't send me an email trying to explain to me the history of the Republican Party. I know Teddy Roosevelt created the national park system because he was a conservationist who believed in things. You would be able to convince Teddy Roosevelt there was global warming, okay? I know that. I'm talking about the party Barry Goldwater turned it into. That's the party I'm talking about. The party Ronald Reagan. Well, Ronald was religious and the religious right. He ushered in towards the end of the religious right. But Ronald Reagan, when he was the governor of California, when he was running for president in 1976 and 1980, he was about fiscal responsibility. Ross Perot, remember that guy with the big ears? He would have been a great Republican president, but he was running against George Bush, who was already the established one, because Ross Perot could care less. He was like me. All the other stuff was peripheral. What are we going to do to curtail all this damn spending? That was Ross' thing.
He would have been a great president.
What are we going to do to stop all this damn spending? Because we spend like it's never going to run out. And that's not the government's job.
It is not.
Now, when I say that, somebody goes, well, Tom, you just said it's not the government's job to tell a parent what they can do with their insurance or government-funded insurance. Well, that's because I don't believe the government should be funding insurance. Okay? If the government was doing what I think the government should be doing, Medicaid wouldn't be a deal. I don't know. I know I get aggravated sometimes. And look, I'm not saying that the conservative religious right is not something that has a purpose. It does. I'm glad that there are people that take Christianity serious or take Judaism serious or whatever your faith is that you want to take. I just don't believe that the government should have a pick a side. And my party of choice has picked a side. And I it's just my own opinion. I think we should be the country of fiscal responsibility, and everything else should be done by the private sector. Everything. Religion, morality, help for the needy, everything should be done by the private sector. Well, Tom, that was ushered out with the New Deal. Yes, I know. But the New Deal was designed to try to get us out of a depression. By the way, for those wondering, the New Deal
did not get us out of the depression.
I'll give you a history lesson. Didn't work. Tom, it built the Tennessee Valley Authority. Oh, it did build the Tennessee Valley Authority, but we didn't have any way we were paying for these people. We were printing money. Inflation was ridiculous. People weren't going back to work. They weren't making any money, and there was no sustainability to it. Eventually, these jobs we were creating and making up were going to run out. War is what got us out of the Great Depression, not the New Deal.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start saying, Tom, the New Deal kept the stock market from crashing, okay, just stop. The best thing the New Deal did was the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. And even it only insures your deposits up $250,000. So if you got $25 million in the bank goes belly up, the government's only giving you $250,000 back.
Sorry about your luck.
Sorry about your luck. So I don't know why I went off on that rant. I just get aggravated when.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting political year for Marion County. I'm going to be very interested to see what happens in District 4.
I'm going to be interested to see what happens. 4 of the 5 districts are up for election in the school board.
Yes.
By the way, people keep forgetting this, and I try to hammer this home every day. The school board is the largest budget in Marion County.
It is. And
they don't answer to the school. They don't. Everybody thinks, the county commission.
No.
They don't answer to the county commission. They're their own entity, their own budget. That 1 mil tax that we keep talking about, the 1 mil versus the 1 cent sales tax, that 1 mil tax is set by the school board to raise money to build schools and everything, or to do what they need with it. It's completely separate from any kind of tax the county commission comes up with. But, Tom, the county commission has to put it on the ballot. Yeah, that's just a formality.
That's it. They just put it on the ballot.
If the school board has all their ducks in a row, the county commission has to put it on the ballot.
They don't have a choice.
They don't have a choice. It has to go up for a vote. So it's going to be very interesting.
That reminds me of more questions that were answered incorrectly.
It's going to be very interesting, this election cycle. But I'm sorry. I'm tired of people that run, and the only thing they run on is they're a conservative Christian.
So please do your research.
Look,
please don't be a headliner.
You can be a conservative Christian and a complete just in-touch idiot at the same time.
like somebody saying you don't know about Christianity because you're Catholic.
Just like that person. Just like that person. Hey, I appreciate everybody listening to me today. Thanks for Susan for coming in, Greg Martin from the Ocala Police Department for being here, and, of course, you, the listeners, and you, the callers, and you, the sponsors. Without all of you, this would not be possible. So I appreciate it so much. So I want to give you this. I'm going to try to remind you of this every day from this point on. Learn from the past, feel positive about the future, and, folks, grasp the present you live in. Talk to you tomorrow.
This is WOCA AM, W242 CAFM, Ocala, the source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
A Securities and Exchange Commission filing shows Tesla CEO Elon Musk has filed to exit